So, as you heard, their leadership renewal for the Liberal Party today. Sussan Ley, the party's first female federal leader. Meantime, David Littleproud has retained his position as leader of the Nationals after he faced a challenge from Queensland Senator Matt Canavan, and Kevin Hogan was elected as deputy leader of the Nationals. Bridget McKenzie voted as leader in the Senate. Perrin Davey is the former deputy leader of the Nationals, and she joins me now from our Parliament House studio. Perrin Davey, thank you for your time. What's your reaction to the election of Sussan Ley for the Liberal Party leadership this morning?
Oh, look, Sussan Ley is actually my local member. I'm based out of Deniliquin, and Sussan Ley is the member for Farrer. So I am particularly excited about having a leader of the Liberal Party who's from the regions. Hopefully that will put the regions back in focus, because one of my passions in my time in Parliament over the last 6 years has been making sure that regional Australians are not forgotten. So I'm quite excited that we've got a regional leader, and congratulations to Sussan Ley and being the first female elected as leader of the Liberal Party as well. I think it's an exciting time, and I hope that she is very successful in her role, and in this point in time when the Liberal Party needs to look towards the future and needs to have a review and listen to the lessons learnt from the election. And I think that it's onwards and upwards from here.
It's a big job. Is it a poison chalice at this point?
Look, no, I don't think so. I mean, I think after any election defeat, it is the opportunity to revisit, review and revise and revitalise. And I think that Sussan is the right person at this point in time to do that for the Liberal Party.
And Ted O'Brien is the new deputy. Jacinta Price, who defected from the Nationals party room to the Liberals, she didn't run for deputy in the end. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it was a decision by Jacinta that she made to change party rooms and to announce that she was going to run for deputy. And then, obviously, when Angus Taylor was not successful in his bid to become leader of the Liberal Party, Jacinta made the decision to withdraw her nomination for deputy. And it will be up to the Liberal Party and Jacinta to determine what her role is in the future for that party.
Now, you blamed your loss of a spot in the Senate on voters' reluctance to back the Liberals, because you're on a joint coalition ticket, of course. You want the Nationals to have a bigger say in the coalition moving forward. What on specifically? What tangible differences would you like to see moving forward?
Well, certainly, I mean, when we talk about proportional representation, and I remember reading, about a month out from the election, that the Nationals were overrepresented in shadow cabinet positions, and that, some of us needed to lose our jobs. And as it turns out, proportionately, we've got a larger proportion of the coalition benches. So I think when those discussions are held between Sussan Ley and David Littleproud, they will be looking at the numbers, but they also need to look at the future arrangements between the state parties and for any Senate arrangements going forward. We're now in a situation where the Nationals hold 6 lower house seats in New South Wales, and the Liberals hold 7 lower house seats in New South Wales, and yet the Liberals hold 3 of the New South Wales Senate positions held by the coalition, and the Nationals only hold 1. So I think those conversations need to be held, need to be gone through when David and Sussan meet to discuss what future arrangements there will be.
Sussan Ley wants the party to return to the political centre. The Nationals have been coy on whether they could dump their commitment to net zero emissions by 2050. Do you see difficult times ahead there? Do you think those internal climate wars could be reignited?
Well, that will be a decision for the National Party. Certainly the National Party will have their conversations and their internal debates, and they will determine their positions going forward. And then it will be up to the coalition leaders, David and Sussan, to have those discussions about what they can agree on and what steps the coalition will take going forward, what policies they will take going forward. But everything, I think both David Littleproud and the new deputy, Kevin Hogan, have been quite clear that everything is on the table for those discussions to be had in a respectful manner. But the net zero debate, I'm sure, will be raised in the party room again.
And, you know, what often goes on behind closed doors under that coalition agreement, do you think that's going to be more in public in this term?
Oh, I think that we've always, as two separate parties, despite the fact that we're in coalition, we've always been forthright. The Nationals have been forthright in when we do have a difference of opinion, we're quite open about it. We were the first party to come out against The Voice quite early in that conversation. We didn't wait for the Liberals. And we determined our position, and we said to the Liberals at the time that, you know, they could take whatever position they so chose to take. So, and I think that is healthy, particularly when we're in opposition, and we will continue to operate that way.
And noted this is not the first time, but if there is talk of whether the Nationals will stay in coalition with the Liberals. What's your response to that, and will this leadership choice have any bearing on that?
Again, that will be a conversation that will be held between the two leadership teams of the party. Certainly at a state level, not all states have formal and ongoing coalition agreements. We've got Western Australia, and they at a state level, they negotiate after every election. In South Australia, we even had a national minister in a Labor cabinet at one point in time. So each state will treat things differently, but it will be a conversation that David Littleproud and Sussan Ley will have. We know that the coalition, a strong coalition, works well for this nation, and coalition has been in government more than any other party. So it is sensible to have a strong and working coalition if they can come to that agreement, but it will be a matter for the leadership of the two parties.
Perrin Davey, former Deputy Leader of the Nationals, thanks for speaking with us.
Thank you.